I must tell you about this thing that's just happened to me. I feel so much better than I did earlier. Oh, I went to the temple. I was sad and I was lonely. I stood outside and I saw the glances of the women as they went past me. Some sneered, some it was a look of pity, some just wondered how long it would be before they were in my position. But the young ones, they smiled and they laughed. But as they all went past the pot in the temple, the treasury pot, they made a big show of throwing in their gold and their silver. I waited. I have no gold, no silver, and very little copper, just 2 mites. That's all I have. But I want to give it to God. So, despite their sneering, especially the young ones, I dropped my 2 mites into the treasury pot and passed through. I felt so bad. But then I heard a voice, and it was the man they called Jesus. He said to his friend, pointing to me, that this woman has given more than all the others. How could 2 mites? But then he said to his friends that all the others who made such a big show of putting their gold and their silver in the pot were only given a fraction of what they had. But I had given everything. I thought on his words, and I straightened my shoulders and stood up more proudly. It was true. I, a poor widow woman, I had given what I had. It was amazing. I feel so much better. God be praised. So, back again to our story. A mite is a teeny tiny bronze coin, smaller than this. It was worth almost nothing, a bit like a penny today. Can you imagine being so poor that you only have 2 pennies? Can you imagine that only having 2 pennies, you give them both away, leaving yourself literally penniless? The widow's mite has always been a favourite story of mine. What Jesus is saying is so clear. He tells his disciple exactly what is what. All those people who throw in gold and silver are rich and have lots of money left after their gift. But that woman gave everything she had. Jesus was saying this just days before he gave even more. He gave his life on the cross. I wonder, was that in his mind when he watched that woman give her last 2 mites? Well, we are in the season of transforming generosity at the moment. So I've given some thought to exactly what generosity is. I think most of us look at our monthly income. We pay our rent or our mortgage. We pay for food. We pay the other bills. We buy the things we need. And then We buy the things we don't need, but want, even if we suspect they'll probably end up in the bin after a little while. We pay for entertainment. We put away money for holidays. We put away money for rainy days. And then, if we've got enough left, we're considering what we're going to give, be it to charities, and that includes the church. And it's the same with our time and our talents. We live in a society that thinks of itself as time poor. But during lockdown, lots of people filled their time by helping others. Do you know, I think the really generous people are those who continued to volunteer, continued to give their time for others, even after they had time and things to fill it with. And those people who still managed to volunteer, despite looking after children, grandchildren, having a full-time job, I think real generosity is when someone puts off something that they'd really like and instead makes a contribution to a charity, or a busy person who makes time for others, putting other people first. I think that's what that widow did. And it's not about how much. 5 minutes of your time, help somebody. Maybe your 2 mites might help our church. But it shouldn't be an afterthought, because God is endlessly generous to us, and Jesus made the ultimate sacrifice. Amen.